Hello, hello, Christianne here, and today we just have a mini practice for you to open up the front of the body. To do it with special attention and alignment so that we can safely unravel and open. So you see here, there's a chair, there's a blanket, and there is a yoga mat. Grab those toys and meet me on the mat. We will, as you may not be warmed up at this moment yet, it's a good idea to just free up the spine a little in any way that feels appropriate to you. So today I'm just going to invite you to do this in a freestyle fashion. You notice that I'm kneeling, but for you the kneeling may not really be appropriate. So maybe just sitting and just swirling a little bit from side to side. You just want to invite some circulation to move into the spine and to free up any tightness that may be there. So maybe if kneeling is in this way, in this squatting position is malasana, feels freeing to you, then do that. I like it very much. It allows for a lot of freedom in the body, but make sure that you are moving freely in a way that is appropriate for you, right? So you could just close your eyes at this time and not so much look at the camera at what I'm doing, but just your own free movement, just to get circulation going into the spine. Or maybe going to a more traditional kind of a warm-up, like the spinal waves. I have a little 5-minute video there for you, which you can look up and enjoy, or just any way that allows you to get a little bit of circulation going. So once you've done that and you feel that the body has warmed up a little bit, it's ready to go. Take your chair, open it up, and then turn it upside down. Let's see. Turn it upside down. Resting the head of the chair onto a wall, if you have a wall available, because then it's nice and sturdy. But if not, that's okay. You can make sure that the back of the chair is on the yoga mat as opposed to like here, right, where it could slide more easily. So the chair is really not for the beginner. It's for a more intermediate level class because it's not stable per se, right? But it's a wonderful way to connect a little bit. So if you're just starting out, I would say skip the chair altogether and just use the guidance that I give you with the chair on the floor itself. Okay, and then take your blanket. You may not need a blanket, but if the knees are a little bit sensitive, you may want to take your blanket like so. You will bring you come into kneeling onto the chair like this, okay? And then go ahead and take your right leg forward into a lunge. And we won't go into the back bend just yet, but we are going to begin to open up the fronts of the thigh. Right, so the thigh muscles, they get very tense, very tight. So here in this position with the foot pressing onto the chair, you can take the hands to pull into the handle. In this position, you can encourage the front of the hip to open a little as the thigh bone, the femur bone, roots down into the ground from the center of the pelvic floor. So where your knee is in contact with the ground or the blanket, just really press down on that, and you should feel a fantastic opening here through the front of the thigh. And so let's just be with that for now. Yeah, the palms can open up. You see, I have my thumbs facing out, so as to open the shoulders here as well. And just take a little moment here, just breathing and connecting to this opening. Notice we're not going into the back bend just yet. So you're just in a straight up position, breathing. And then let's go ahead and do the same with the other side. So draw that right foot in this time, nudge it in so that the foot comes up as high up on the back of the seat as possible, or as it's comfortable for you, or it's appropriate for you. And then take the other leg up. So again, in this lunging position, the idea is to open the front of that thigh, the leg that you are kneeling on, as much as possible. If you feel like you need even a little bit more cushion on the blanket, then you just fold the blanket double, yeah, from what I have here. And again, broadening through the collarbone so the shoulders can begin to open. The neck is free. You don't need to look up at all, but it is very interesting here that you lift the back of the head off of the neck. Breathe. So there might be a lot of tightness in the front of the thigh here. Likely it will be the case. So just breathe with that. Breathe into that. And then let's go ahead and do the first side again. And this time we'll move more into a back bend, into Anjani Asana pose. So bring that right leg forward again. The left leg went back. If not yet, do so now. And then again, you're using the handles of the chair as an anchor to broaden through the collarbones. Maybe you can begin to slide back a little bit more, but continue to encourage. I'm releasing my hands just to show. Continue to encourage the hip here to root down, that opening of the thigh. And now you begin to arc around a little. So it's really important that from the area of the sacrum, you're broadening, you're opening, you're not jamming anything up, right? Because that will defeat the purpose of opening the front body, right? If it's at the expense of the back body. So just broadening and opening as you move in the direction of your Anjaneyasana, your back bend. Work both legs. That's your base, that's your support. Be buoyant in the back body, the area of the kidney especially. Fill that up. And very slowly find your way back. And then here, switching legs. The right leg moves in. And the left leg opens up. And so once more, the rooting down of that kneeling leg, and the moving forward on the leg that's the knee that's freed up, but keeping this back area very buoyant, very open. So take a moment to anchor down as you push that foot onto the chair. Use that as leverage. The thumbs are pointing out as you open the shoulders, open the collarbones. The glutes are both moving forward towards the front of the pelvis. And then you open. And very slowly find your way back. If you went deep, you really want to take your time finding your way back. Now you get to repeat this once more, both sides. If going into the back bend felt like your back wasn't so happy, felt a little sensitive, then just do the first variation. We are really working the front of the thigh and just opening through the collarbones. Or you can go in for in the direction of Ustrasana. Yeah, so then here you'd have both, you'd be kneeling on both legs and either pressing the feet down onto the ground for the traditional pose or using this prop for added support. If that's the case, then you can use the back seat. So you can just go and reach for that, maybe look one side and the other before jamming your back into that. All right, so just very gently asking the body for permission to move into those deeper places. The fronts of the thighs are pushing, are going down towards the knees. The hamstrings are lifting up. And the glutes, the most protruding part of the glutes, moving forward, forward. You're not tightening the glutes, that would defeat the purpose because that would compress the low back. They're just moving forward. And once you have all that length, broaden through the collarbones, puff up the shoulders, especially from the area of the armpit, and then move into your pose. And very slowly find your way back. So here, if you did one leg, then you do the other leg. And if you're doing the Ustrasana variation, let's go at it again. Yeah? So once more, just a reminder, you're sending the femur bone straight down from its socket, straight down. You're sending the glutes, especially the most protruding part of the glute, forward, forward. You're sending the hamstrings up. All of this is going on as your base. So let's just take a few breaths as we move into it. Rooting down so you can expand. Down, you can expand. And expand. And slowly find your way back. Now from that, opening up the back body, it's a really wonderful idea to go into a little bit of revolving the spine. Yeah, but first we'll just neutralize it with downward facing dog, or maybe a variation of it since we have the chair. Go ahead and come into a standing position, and then place your hands on either side of the foot of the chair. Of course, if you don't have a chair, then just right onto the ground, and then step your way, and then go ahead and begin to move back. And because you have this height here, you may want to bring your feet even wider than the mat. And you may want to lift your feet up for a moment, wiggle a little bit side to side. And then once you've settled, really press into your heels and lift the thighs up. That will free up the spine more. Locate the armpits and send them forward towards the fingertips. Locate the tips of your shoulders and send them back towards the waistline. Breathe. And really consider the pelvic floor here. Moving that back and up so that the spine can release more completely. And then as you're ready, walk your way back in, pedal in. And for our twist, we're going to use the chair since it's here. Those of you who have it, not necessary. And we will bring the chair back into its regular position. So if you have a chair with an open back like this, then you will sit bring one leg up and over and move in this fashion. If you don't, then you just sit sideways. But what I'd like for you to do in this position with the chair is come into this variation of Virabhadrasana 1. Okay? And without the chair, then just kneel down and move into this shape. So I like to take my time here if I have the chair and use the bottom of the seat to press on both sides as a reminder to allow the right side of my torso to open up more to the right, the left side of my torso to open up a little bit more to the left. And then, of course, I really want to connect to my base, so really rooting down through the legs. And then from here, bring that left arm forward, bring it over to the right. Walk that right arm back behind. Maybe with the palm open, you can reach to the outside of your left hip. Encourage that left hip to move forward, right? Because the tendency is for it to open this way. Encourage it to move forward. And then with the left hand on the handle, you're encouraging the right ribs to move back. So now the idea here is that you do all this not from sheer strength from the outside, but from within. So really breathing, as you breathe in, connect to the vertebrae. And then as you breathe out, revolve gently. Breathe in, connect, root down through your feet. Feel the length of the spine. And as you breathe out, revolve. And then inhaling your way back. And we're going to do the other leg. I'm going to use the chair in a different way. Feel free to repeat the exact same thing that we did. It's just trying to give a few more things to your repertoire or fun ways to play with the chair. Again, if there's a back on the chair, then you just do it sideways. But in this lunge position, also this time you have the left leg in front and the right leg back. So again, taking the time. So now here I have the opportunity to feel the back of the chair onto the tips of my shoulder blades so I can fill up into that, right? And then with that, a reminder to fill up into the kidneys as well. So often we have the best intentions, right? But we forget the back body and how much it can contribute to our more optimal alignment. And so let's go ahead and reach the arms up from this place or any variation that you may be in right now. And then rotate to the left. So this time my right hand is going to come to the outside of the left leg, and my left hand is going to come to the side of the handle, again to remind my right ribs to move forward and my left ribs to move back. Forward and back. Inhale, feel the length through the spine. Root down through the legs. Exhale, revolve. And then inhaling back to center. You can bring the leg out of the chair. And just take a moment here to sit. I will sit a little bit more closely to you as I invite you now to take a few more minutes to integrate all the work by simply lying down and letting go of the effort that is often a part of this practice. Right? But there is another aspect to the physical practice of yoga where we are simply yielding, opening, releasing, and receiving. So give yourselves ample opportunity to do that as well. And so with that, I will leave you to release and unwind the body as needed, as appropriate for you today. The light in me bows to the light in you. Take good care.